If you're looking to take your career to the next level or overcome any potential challenges that you may be going through, you've come to the right place. Hi there, my name is Varun Wadhwa. I'm a career growth expert and author and public speaker, and the founder of Rise and Shine Tribe, wherein we help professionals take their career to the next level. The name of the program is called as the Indispensable Program. Why the word indispensable? It literally means irreplaceable. But for us, it means taking you to the next level as far as your career growth is concerned and giving you charge of your career. The program is focused on one finding in the Harvard case study, which mentions that at the end of the day, it's not about the number of hours that you worked. You would see a lot of professionals today. They may be working for 15, 20 hours a day, and yet they're looking forward to the next day. There are other set of professionals, even for 5 to 7 hours a day, looks like labor for them. The reason in the study mentioned is that it's not about work-life balance. It's about how much do you feel you are in charge of your career? How much are you in control of your career? Those professionals who seem to be having control of their career are somehow happy to work for n number of hours because they enjoy their work. They enjoy the freedom that they have. They enjoy the control that they have over their career. So the objective of this program is to give you that control back. But before that, let's dive into what happens. Why are there all of these challenges that people go through, and how do we overcome those challenges? First of all, let's understand what is that we're talking about as far as career growth is concerned, and how do we draw some parallels to what I was really trying to say. Let me extend this conversation. Yes. So at the end of the day, it's very important that you understand this very important concept that we are where we are because of the decisions that we have taken in the past. But where do these decisions come from? These decisions come from our principles, our values, our belief systems. So if you want to take better decisions, you have to replace those values, these principles with values and principles that take you higher. A lot of people, unfortunately, a lot of professionals today, and most of them take decisions out of fear, out of discomfort, out of frustration, out of stress. Those are the lower values that I call. What could be a typical decision out of fear? Not taking up a new role or not moving to the next level. What could be a decision which is taken out of frustration, moving to a company just to for the sake of getting a better pay hike and then screwing up your work-life balance. There can be many such decisions that you may take up. Or sometimes you feel that you want the career to grow in a certain direction, but you don't have the willingness. Why? Because you fear that, oh, this is unknown territory for me. So you're acting out of fear again. Instead of those values, what if I encourage you to act out of those values that actually empower you? So for us, these three core values are most important: growth, balance, and discipline. What does this mean? Because when you talk about balance, what we're really talking about is, see, at the end of the day, people think, oh, my career is my life. No, career is just a part of life. So for us, balance means building a career or the building a life and not just career. Because when you build a life, career automatically gets built. So focusing on the larger object, that's the first value that you have, balance. The number two value, which is very important, is at the end of the day, it's not just about, and a lot of people often ask me, oh, how do I take my career to the next level? Oh, how do I get that leadership position? Oh, how do I get that promotion? All of that stuff. So if you would have seen this beautiful movie called Kung Fu Panda, he's always running after this magic scroll, which has some kind of a secret. And his father is also preparing this magic ingredient that he has, which he puts it in his soup. And if you've seen that movie, you realize that in the end, there's no magic ingredient. The magic ingredient is you. That means he realizes that at the end of the day, you have to work towards creating your own magic. As far as work is concerned, the way you create magic is working outside of work. Let me tell you that what that means. It means that you outsource your learning to yourself, not to your manager, not to your company, not to anyone outside. And the magic ingredient that it gets mentioned here, the magic at work begins outside of work. The number of hours that you spend on upgrading yourself, creating a new version of yourself outside of work will play out during your work hours. We'll see how. The third important value is discipline. Discipline means what? Showing up every day, doing the right thing the right way, day in and day out. Consistency. Because I often feel consistency is one such skill which is often underrated and not talked about. And the beautiful part is that you can build up that skill just by showing up every day with the same intensity. And number three, which is very, very important as far as this is concerned, see, at the end of the day, life has no retakes. That means if you finished a page, it's like a book. If you finished a page, you can't go back and read that again. So for me, it's very important that you act out of these three values. When you start acting out of these three values, nobody can help or nobody can stop you from becoming indispensable. Now, let's go and understand what are some of the current challenges that people actually go through in general. And you would be able to relate to all of these challenges. Yeah, you'll be able to relate to all of these challenges. What are some of these challenges that people go through? They are struggling with their work because they're not getting the recognition they deserve. A lot of you would be struggling because you feel stressed, you feel stuck. Some professionals come to me and they always mention that my manager is hammering upon me. I don't know what to do. No matter what work I tell her or him, it's always like, do more. There are always tighter deadlines coming my way. I feel stressed. It's affecting my financial life. It's affecting my personal life. I can't be a proper parent. I am struggling through with all of these aspects in my personal life. Challenges could be with respect to not having the right visibility on the ground. That means you're doing the work, but you feel you're not getting the credibility. You feel that there's somebody else who seems to get all the the accolades, the promotions, the awards, whatever. I'm always overlooked. If that is the challenge, then this is something that you can relate to. Then there is emotionally drained people. They have poor work-life balance. There's just too much on their table all the time. They're struggling with the very idea of not being able to understand how will I be able to match those Friday, those week-long deadlines. Because there's just too much and they're emotionally drained. They can't seem to comprehend what's happening. Then there are always challenges with respect to people who seem to have hit a career ceiling. What does it mean? It means they're in the organization for last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You've utilized all your resources. You have learned what you could have learned, but somehow you don't seem to make progress. You don't want to move out of the organization, or you want to move out, but you don't know where to move out. You're very comfortable with the people, but at the end of the day, you seem to have hit a career ceiling. You don't know whether I'm taking my career in the right direction. Have I made any mistake? So all of these challenges you would be facing. If you're facing all of these challenges, typically what will happen is you will be having one of these issues. There will be You will be living in a quiet frustration. You will be capable but unforeseen or rather unseen, talented but undervalued, ambitious but directionless, success only on paper. Have you seen or have you felt any of these challenges? I'm sure you haven't, that's why you're here. Now, the question really remains, how do I make sure that I am able to create a remedy for all of these heartbreaks? See, the remedy lies in this number one reason why a lot of people struggle. The number one reason is there are these three different outcomes that are not aligned or not in congruence. What do I trying to say? What do I mean by congruence? See, at the end of the day, there are all of these goals and aspirations that we have. Then there is a belief system that we have. Then there is something which is called as our daily habits. These are the three things that I'm talking about. First of all, let's talk about goals in general. So first, I think maximum professionals today have absolutely zero idea of what it actually means to create meaningful goals. They picked up some strategy, some story, some video from somewhere, then they would have thought about some goals, maybe written down a couple of them here and there, but they have not made a conscious effort to write down their goals. And I always say there are four kind of people. One is people that are called as delusionists. That means they have absolutely no idea what goals are. They live their life and regret in the end. Then there are dreamers. They have some goals. They want to dream big. They want a house. They want a car, but they never write down anything. And they have absolutely no idea how they're going to get there. Then there are drifters. Drifters are who? People who write down their goals. They have a plan also, but the moment they encounter a challenge, they not just change the plan, they also change the goal. But then there are doers, and that's where I encourage everyone to be. They have a dream, they have a goal, and they have a plan to achieve that goal. They've written down their goals and they have making an effort to move towards that direction day in and day out. So the first thing I would encourage everyone is to write down what specific goals you want. 3 to 5, not too many. Just focus on 3 to 5 top priority goals. Make it as specific as possible and try and see if you can add those feelings that come along with that goal. Why do you want to achieve that goal? See, sometimes people don't have the reasons to achieve those goals. They have the skill sets, but don't have enough reasons. So first thing that you do is write down those goals and also write down why is it important that you achieve that goal. The number two thing that is not in congruence is your belief system. What is a belief system? Belief system is the way we look at things. We have certain beliefs about money, about career, about relationships, about our wealth, everything. So one of my clients, he came to me and she said, okay, I want to learn public speaking. And I always give this example, but she mentioned, I doubt, but I'll be a good public speaker. And I asked her, I said, how many times do you keep saying that to yourself? I said, all the time. I said, how are you going to become a great public speaker if your self-talk is always negative? And that's the problem with a lot of professionals. Their self-talk is always negative. And when your self-talk is negative, you will never be able to get out of that viral. You will never be able to convince yourself. Forget about the world. You will never be able to convince yourself that you're good enough. So your belief system could be around your money also. If money is something that is you're struggling with, maybe it's a belief system that money is difficult to earn. Maybe it's a belief system that people who earn money are greedy. These belief systems may be stopping you. So you need to create a new set of belief systems that again ties back to those goals. For example, if I have a goal that I want to improve my public speaking, then my belief system should say that public speaking is something that I absolutely love doing. This comes naturally to me. That belief system again needs to be reconditioned into your subconscious mind. The third thing, which is standards. Standards means how are your daily routine like? Are you in a position to sort of work towards those goals on a conscious basis? Do we have a diary every day wherein first thing in the morning do you plan for those tasks for the day that will help achieve those goals? No. Most people don't have that idea. So where do you start? You start with writing down those goals. You start with creating a belief system that supports that goal. And then every day in the morning, first thing that you do is write down the 3 tasks that you want to accomplish to achieve that goal. Let's suppose you want to switch to a new job. You want to move to a leadership position. So what are the 3 things that you're supposed to do for that leadership position? Okay, you figured out I need to complete this leadership course. Or I need to read this book. Or I need to somehow complete an online certification, whatever it may be. So what are the 3 tasks for that day? Read 10 pages. A task could be or complete part of that course. A task could be watch these many videos, whatever it may be. That is what you do in order to bring congruence as far as your goals, your plans, sorry, your strategies or plans or standards and your belief system is concerned. When all of these 3 things come together, then you will see that magic happens. But that's only the start. When all of these 3 things come together, what you also need is a certain shift in your mindset and your skill set. And that's where a beautiful recipe called career comes in. See, at the end of the day, it's very important that you understand that all of the master chefs that you would have seen in a movie show or somewhere, they were also beginners someday. And when they realized over a period of their experiences that they can create, how can they create these master dishes? The ingredients are always the same. The point I'm trying to make is that ingredients that you have and those master chefs have, they have the same ingredients. It's the way you use those ingredients. That means it's the way you have used those skill sets and mindset to create a perfect recipe for your career. And that's what we're going to learn in the next slide. Because at the end of the day, it's about the right mindset, the right skill set, and some tools and strategies. So let me expand this and show what I'm trying to say. So the idea of moving from invisible to indispensable and crossing this beautiful bridge comes from these three systems: your mindset, your skill set, and the tools and strategies that you have. So we're going to learn a very important concept through which you can at least start practicing what I'm teaching you today, which is called as the life model. What is a life model? Life model is focused towards leadership. It is focused towards image evolution. It's focused towards frequency of vibration and entrepreneur mindset. What are these four things? See, first is leadership. Most important, of course. Everybody's read about it. Everybody's heard about it. But are you practicing it day in and day out? Are you going to be a leader that somebody hopefully remembers someday that this is the person that taught me? This is the person that taught me about values, about life, about work, everything else. Leadership is not about a title, we've all heard it. It's about your responsibilities. But I'll give you a very simple definition of leaders that you will not forget from this day onwards. That is that at the end of the day, leaders are some people that see what others often miss out. Leaders see potential in others, but others don't see. Leaders believe in others when others do not believe in themselves. Leaders see challenges that the organization is going to go through. Leaders see the trends in the market. Leaders see the larger vision. Leaders see what resources the company needs. So they just see better. So the first thing I would want you to focus on trying to build up your repertoire as a leader, trying to figure out what best can you do in order to look out for others, because that's the first thing that you do. What is image evolution? Now, image evolution means that at the end of the day, see, we are all being judged all the time. That means when we work with others, when we live with others, when we are walking around, even when you're not speaking to anybody, they're still judging and talking about us all the time. Talking about means they're taking decisions whether to work with us, whether to promote us, whether to give any business to us, all of these aspects. When a salesperson goes to a client and pitches for a product or service, that client is judging this person all the time. And the business may come not because the product is great. Sometimes the business, and most often the business comes because that person likes the salesperson. So what is it the salesperson that has done right to create that business? He understands that there's a conscious way to create an image in somebody's head. So the second focus towards is image evolution. That means creating an image that you would want to create, which will support your roles and your goals in life. And it's focused towards three or four aspects, which is appearance, behavior, communication skills, digital space. Those are various aspects through which we communicate one way or the other with people. And if we focus on our appearance, the way we look, the way we dress, on our behavior, the way we carry ourselves, the way we give our cards, the way we conduct the meetings, the way we speak in front of others in terms of our communication skills, are we confident enough to speak in front of others? Are we fearful of the public speaking stage? Can we hold the mic and speak our heart out? Can we speak in front of the CEO and ask those questions? Can we give PPTs? Can we run presentations in front of board members efficiently? Those are the communication skills that I'm talking about. And then how effectively are we utilizing the digital space to create an image? What kind of personal brand do we have online? All of that comes as part of your image evolution. Number three, focus on frequency of vibration. What does it mean? See, at the end of the day, it's very important that you realize that instead of chasing your goals, you can actually attract them to you. How do you attract those goals to you? By becoming the kind of person that is good enough to achieve those goals. We've all heard of this scientific concept that it's all energy, and it's one And energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be moved from one dimension to the other. And while everyone is energy, everything is energy, we also know that we attract situations and people that seem to be vibrating in the same frequency as us. That's why we gel with certain people. That's why opportunities come to more people because they've attracted it by vibrating at the same frequency. In simple words, frequency of vibration means the way you think is the way you feel. The way you feel is the way you behave, and the way you behave is the way you act. So if you're thinking negatively, your actions are not going to align with your goals. That means if you want to achieve something, it starts with a positive thought. It starts with thinking about it in a positive way so that you can at least start thinking, okay, what do I need to do next? When you start thinking in a positive way, your feelings will align to it. And suddenly your behavior will change. Your belief system will change, and that will propel you to take action. So, the idea of the frequency of vibration, skill set, mindset is focused towards creating the right mindset, the right skill set, so that you start taking action by first realigning your thoughts. There's much more to it. There's the idea of subconscious mind, there's the idea of law of attraction, all of that. But just understand this very simple concept at the end of the day that you will align with those people and those situations that are vibrating at the same frequency. So be aware of that and act consciously. Number four, entrepreneur mindset. See, a lot of professionals today struggle. Why? Because they're focusing towards the number of hours of work. They're not focused towards the outcome. But how does an entrepreneur think? An entrepreneur is focused towards the outcome. They understand the business acumen. They understand the marketing side of things. They understand how to create content. They understand how to coach people. These are all aspects that are required today for professionals to learn as far as the entrepreneur mindset is concerned. So I will leave you there with these four skill sets, but I just want to tell you that at the end of the day, when we talk about these four skill sets and mindsets, please realize that while you may be at any position in your life, at the end of the day, you are the CEO of your life. And if you're struggling with any of these challenges, at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself and realize, okay, what can I do different? How can I change myself for the situation to change? And we offer this program called as the Indispensable Program, wherein I've helped many such professionals overcome any of the challenges that we've talked about. And we can go back to these challenges, but please understand at the end of the day, we all are going to be going through at least 2 to 5 of these challenges in our career growth. And if you feel that this has resonated with you, there's a call button. Please book a call and let's talk about it. There are no strings involved. I am not going to offer you anything that you don't want to accept. It's an open conversation. It's an open conversation about your career, about your growth, because that's where you start. A lot of people are willing to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on entertainment, but only a few people have the willingness, the right mind to spend on themselves for their own career growth. So if you're one of those professionals who are driven by your career growth, don't think twice. Just book a call on my calendar invite, and I will see you on a one-on-one meeting wherein I can hopefully help you in your career growth.